Hello, so this is the video for the special right triangles, the 45, 45, 90 triangle, and the 30, 16, 90 degree right triangle. I guess let's start now with our video tutorial. So this is what I have. Let's reuse this so we can start right away. Okay. Special right triangles, they are special because they are special. Most of the time they are being used kaya special sila, no? So we have two types, the 45, 45, 90 triangle and the 30, 16, 90 triangle. Two kinds pala, no? Not types. So we have here for the 45, 45, bakit siya naging 45, 45, 90 degrees? Because 45 degrees nga to dito. Ayan. 45, 45, and then 90. Galing siya sa square, quadrilateral square, no? If you are going to draw a diagonal here, magkakaroon tayo ng 45, 90, and 45. We know, pag square class, no, lahat ng ating, wait lang, parang dito, square. Ang square, ang property ng isang square ay lahat ng sides ay equal. Wait. So, lahat ng sides ng isang square ay equal, yung congruent yan. Therefore, itong side na to and itong side na to ay the same lang. So if this is 10, so this is 10 as well. Pero, if we are going to get this first smaller triangle na to dito, itong triangle na to, what will be the hypotenuse if both legs are 10? No? So again here, we'll use this illustration. If x is 10, therefore, i-substitute lang natin, no? X will be 10 times the square root of 2. That's it. That's the hypotenuse. Okay, let's use another value for that. How about pag ang given natin is ang hypotenuse? So we are going to find what is the two legs, no? So if the hypotenuse measures 15, let's say, no, ang ating hypotenuse is always fronting or in the opposite ng ating right angle, 19. No? So that is our hypotenuse. So if our hypotenuse is, let's say, 15 feet, what is the leg 1 and leg 2? Or the two legs, no? Ang gagawin lang natin dyan ay to use the hypotenuse and equate natin siya sa standard form ng ating hypotenuse. So, di ba, our hypotenuse is 15. And 15 is this. Because this is our hypotenuse, right? So, what to do? We'll use this, and we need the value of x. So we divide both sides by square root of 2. Therefore, our x is 15 over square root of 2. So we get the two legs now. That our leg 1 is 15 square root of 2, and leg 2 is 15 square root of 2. Again, because they are congruent base of 45, 45, 90 triangle. Ayun. What else? Let's say another value naman. How about if ang given nating this one, leg 2, ang ating leg 2 is 20. So, ang leg 1 natin will be also 20. So, what is the hypotenuse? So, our x is 20 times this. So, our hypotenuse is 20 square root of 2. Okay, now let's do the reverse. How about ang given naman ay um 20 square root of 2. Ayan. So, if this is the given, paano makuha yung dalawang missing legs? Again, this is the standard form ng ating hypotenuse. We just equate them. This and this. X squared of 2. So, divide both sides to eliminate this. So, what's left? X na lang dito. Dito pwede natin mag-cancel. Therefore, our x is 20. 20, 20. Mhm. Yun. Now let's go with 30, 60, 90 triangle. Saan naman galing si 30, 60, 90 triangle? Galing si 30, 60 triangle sa isang equilateral triangle class, no? Pag equilateral triangle, lahat ng sides ay congruent. So if this is 10, this is 10, this is also 10. If this angle is 60, therefore lahat ng angle ay 60 din. No? Also, equilateral makes an equiangular triangle. Same lahat ng measurement for all parts. Now, here comes the altitude, no? Here's a middle. Now, this altitude divides this equilateral triangle into two parts, 1 and 2. Now, let's focus dito sa number 2. Same lang naman yan. So, originally, 60 degree to dito. Since na-divide siya, naging 30 na lang, correct? So, that's why we have 30, 60, 90 degree triangle. So, anong mangyayari sa side nito? Originally, it is 10. Pero since na-divide siya, naging 5 na lang siya, correct? Oo. So, what can you observe here? If our base is 5, then to get the hypotenuse, here kasi, nagkaroon na tayo ng hypotenuse. Here, because we have a right triangle. We have created a right triangle. Since this side is facing this 90-degree measurement, it becomes the hypotenuse. Now, to get the hypotenuse, all we need to do is to multiply the base by 2. Now, we get this 5 as our x. 2 times 5 equals 10. Therefore, our hypotenuse is 10. And you see that here from its original measurement. Now, 10, 10, 10. Now, here's the thing again. Let's use another values. How about if our hypotenuse is 30? What is our base side? That becomes 50. Kasi we divide this by 2 to get the base, which is 15. But how would you know if this is the base? Kasi may isa pa tayo side dito. You would know that this is the base because, let's use another color, because the base will always be the shorter leg. Shorter leg will always be facing the smaller angle. So if this is the shorter leg, this is the hypotenuse. This now becomes our longer leg. Longer leg is always opposite to the bigger angle, 60-degree measurement. Okay, so again, base will be our shorter leg and longer leg will be our second leg. So if we are going to label them, this shorter leg becomes A and this long leg becomes our B. So our hypotenuse is C. Sige nga, let's do this on the side. We have this 30, 60, 90 degree. This is parang dito. We'll do it like this. Yon. So this is our A, right? This is our B, this is our C. To get A, always think about na i-divide lang natin ang hypotenuse by 2. To get A, to get C, or to get the hypotenuse, we are going to multiply by 2 ang ating value ng A. Again. For example, no, 50 itong A. So what is C? That becomes 50 times 2. That is 100 ang ating C. Okay, another example. If our C is 60, then what is A? That becomes 30, right? Or what is B? If our A is 30, ayan na. So we have this standard form ng ating B, which is x square root of 3. I mean, no, that's not x. That is a. Oh, no, no, no. That is a square root of 3. So to get b, wait lang ha. Kunin natin yan. B is equal to that. No. B is equal to a squared of 3. So saan galing yan, sir? Galing yan sa Pythagorean theorem. No, we have a squared plus b squared equals c squared. O, substitute natin yung parts or nung standard form ng ating 30, 60, 90 degrees. So ang A will still remain as A squared. How about B? If we are going to find B or derive a formula for B, remain this as B squared, right? For what is C? From earlier explanation, our C is just twice the size of our A. So that is 2A squared. No? Square ito. So what happens on this left side? Remain lang muna B square. And then what happens to this right side? It will become 2 times 2, 4. A times A squared. That becomes A squared. Okay. We combine like terms, no? And after here, we're going to combine like terms. We need this B. To do that, we are going to do SPE or the, transpose. So to do that, we need to SPE both sides. Cancel, matira na lang si B squared. And then what is 4 minus 1? That is 3A squared. Yeah. Now we need only one B to eliminate this square. We square root both sides. Boom, boom. So what happens? Dito, ang mangyayari is if you're going to, distribute or separate the terms for each of the values, magiging square root of 3 and square root of A squared. Since ito, hindi siya mas square root, then it will remain as it is. Pero this one, A squared, this can be, you know, canceled. So, ang matitira na lang is A, right? Therefore, we have the standard form or formula for the side B, which is this. Now let's go with specific example. Earlier, we said that our A is 30. So that becomes C will be 60. So what is B? Substitute natin si A by 30. 30 square root of 3 kasi multiply lang natin ito by the square root of 3. Yun. So that's it. Okay, how about another example naman? Okay, another example, another example, another example. Again, C is twice the size of A lang, no? Let's say B here measures 45, 45 feet. So what is A? What is C? So to get A and C, we are going to use the standard form ng ating B, which is A squared of 3. So if B is A squared of 3, and B is 45, then we can conclude that 45 is equal to A squared of 3, right? Okay. Erase muna natin to. It is blocking our way. Oh, we need A. To get A, divide both sides by 3, by square root of 3, and that's it. Our A here becomes, our leg here, diba, is 45 feet. And this leg here is our longer leg. No, this is our longer leg because this is our bigger angle. So A becomes 45 square root of 3. Then what is C? Kunin lang natin tong A. So, and then multiply by 2. 2 times 45 square root of 3. Are we done yet? Not yet because we need to, multiply. What is 45 times 2? That is 90 square root of 3. Yan. Then a little bit of memorizing lang which label is on, saan ba siya, and you have to figure out always anong triangle yung gagamitin natin. Would that be 45, 45, 90 or 30, 60, 90? So that's it, no? If you'd like a conclusion, then have this class. Ano ba yan? Wala ang ating cursor. Okay, boom. Again, no? So 45, 45, 90, these two sides are congruent. So if this is x, therefore x is equal to x. And hypotenuse is we multiply it by square root of 2. For 30, 60, 90, ang gagawin natin is x will be our base. So if this is our base, then this is the shorter leg. Shorter leg because it's opposite or facing the smaller angle. Hypotenuse, on the other hand, will always be twice the size of our shorter leg. And the longer leg naman, which is always facing the bigger angle, will be the base times the square root of 3. Ayun, we're done.